All right, so we are back, and today is a good old boxing breakdown. We're going to cover a guy that we haven't necessarily ever covered on this channel, but we have talked about before, but it was a long time ago. I'm talking way further back than Jake Paul's hairline. I'm speaking about none other than the man that went to war with the Nissan Gib in one of the best fights in YouTube boxing, Jay Swingler. That's right, Jay is back in the influencer crossover boxing scene. He'll be main eventing on October 15th, the Zone Misfits Boxing X Series number 2. And with that being said, he does have some new footage out. So let's take a look at Jay's new footage and see if Mr. TGF can become the greatest fighter in influencer boxing. It's a heavy claim, but I'll explain. The breakdown. Let's go. All right, Mr. Jay Swingler. Let's see what he's got. A little twist off the lead foot. Bang. Hit the left hook. Apparently, his left hooks make fucking earthquakes happen. I don't know what that edit is. Again, it's hard to see because it looks like God's wrath is being sent with every left hook he throws, but this is a lot better from Jay. This is what you see from guys that have already learned some of the basics, right? How to throw punches like a jab or a hook or a right hand, and also how to navigate range, right? He understands that he can't just come into range and just exit when he's done. He's jabbing his way into range and jabbing his way out. Boom, boom, double jab, gets back out, still switched on. Jab, and again, he's not overextending these jabs. Watch the lead hip here, right? Boom, nice turnover. Again, weight forward, lands the hook. Boom, weight back, drives the right hand. That's nice. Maybe want to see the hands higher and maybe not telegraph the left hook so much, right? Because he gets here and we all know, okay, now the left hook's coming because it's really the only shot he has, or maybe the uppercut. But outside of that, he lands it flush. The right hand comes behind it, and we back out of range. Off the jab again. Now, what I'm seeing from Jay isn't necessarily shocking, because even when you do go back to that first Gib fight, Gib had success with Jay, and ultimately the reason he beat him, one, he was in crazy good shape. Two, he stuck his head in Jay's chest and just continued the volume. This was peak Gib as a steamroller, but in that fight, Jay had his moments, and in those moments, he was technically more proficient. He didn't have the volume. No, he wasn't in great shape, and ultimately he got mowed over by Gib, but that's why I'm not so surprised to see Jay pick the sport up even more than he already had at that point. But it does show in these 2 years off, he's been training, and he's gotten a lot better. And again, I like this, man. Boom, boom. Quick hands. Very fast, very under control. Nice hook there. Now, Jay's stance, as I'm watching him more and more, I'm starting to see a more squared up stance, meaning his shoulders are almost square to his target at all times. Hips the same, knees, feet the same. And that can be a good and a bad thing. I'll explain why. Generally speaking, you're going to have guys stand more square when they're either trying to get inside or they want to utilize lateral head movement, right? Think Mike Tyson when he used to shift back and forth, and then cut angles. Or even someone like Lomachenko does this as well. A 45-degree or even more so bladed, you're thinking Michael Venom Page, darting in and out, kind of moving forward and backward, just like that. Keeping range and keeping people on your jab. Now here it looks like he's hitting pads in the southpaw stance. I could be wrong, but it looks like that's actually just the camera being flipped the other way. But what I was going to say is you see more of a bladed stance here, and this comes into play when we want to do a little bit of this level changing. You see how easy it was for Jay to level change there? Boom, and then underneath, bang, right? And that's because that lead shoulder allows him to, boom, slip underneath, bang, bang, versus here, it'd be a little tougher squared up to bang, bang that shot, right? It's just your body mechanics don't work the same. I gotta say, he's smooth, man. These are nice shots. Just, again, he's not working power here, just tippy-tap shots. Look at this counter backhand here, right? Pull backhand. And again, I do want to see him turn that shot over. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he does throw it like a hammer fist once again. Boom, boom, slip, and then back to the backhand, bang. But he just, boom, like that. Really turn that shot over and get that shoulder behind it, because if he misses that shot, his elbow's going to be on fire. And really, when he lands that, it's not the same pop as if he turns that shoulder over and really extends through. Okay, hold on. Okay, Jay, hold on a second. Working the big power uppercuts. These are the shots I like, all right? This is what I like. Sitting down in the pocket, bang, bang, throwing the big uppies. Maybe want to see some more bend in the knee, but he's ripping these shots. Yoom, right? And again, hua, 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 hua. But again, he's standing southpaw, and I'm trying to think if this is a camera thing or if he's actually working in southpaw and orthodox, because you have him here working in a southpaw stance, or I'm being tricked by the camera. I can't tell. Either way, I fucking love it, because look at the turnover in the hips, right? You don't just turn your hip over as you're throwing hooks back and forth. Everything starts ground up, and the twist in those hips is what allows those fucking punches to raise the roof like an old Uncle Luke music video. Look at some of these shots, man. Boom, big time. And again, the reason it's big time, watch the hip. Bang, you see that turnover? Bang, that's what we want. And he sits down on that shot, and again underneath. Boom, again off the lead. All right, we got some live sparring here, right? And he's back in this orthodox position. Throws the uppercut underneath. He sees that the guard is closed, right? He can't get through with the straight shots. He's tried a couple here already, right? Trying to get around the guard. Okay, I can't do that. Let's go uppercut to close the guard. Then let's go to the hook. That lands on the ear. Right hand doesn't quite get through. But what I really like about this is Jay is throwing some variety in these combinations, right? He throws his combo, nice left hook lands. Then he's like, okay, it's you go, I go, right? Now it's this guy's turn, or at least that's what Jay wants him to believe. I've done my combination. Now you can throw yours back because I'm done throwing punches. Psych, here's a jab. Bang, down the pipe. It shows that ability to throw combinations and then mess with the timing or break the timing and then come back in as this guy gets lulled to sleep. That's nice work. And there's other stuff that I think Jay can still obviously work on, right? He gains range with that jab. That's good. Right hand to the body, that lands. But after this right hand to the body, now we're a bit of a reaching range, right? He hesitates on the lead, which again, squared up here. This is a tough position if this guy does fire back because he's really nowhere Jay can go. And this is what I talked about with Jay being a bit predictable, right? When he squares those shoulders, we all know the left hook's coming here or the uppercut. And so does this guy because he braces for it. Boom. And then the right hand comes. I can't tell if that gets through. It's still a decent shot. So let's make sure we don't tell as much when we're throwing that. But the finish on it is very nice because that left hook is swinging more than your parents do with the neighbors when you're out of town or you go off to college. But Jay, I got to admit, is looking good here. I have no doubts that he's improved offensively, and I don't think he's even close to hitting his potential. Jay Swingler is for real. All right, so there you have it. Listen, it's not as surprising as you may think that Jay looks as good on the mitts, on the heavy bag, just doing a lot of offensive things because as guys learn the sport of boxing, and even back in that Gib fight, offense is one of the first things that comes a little bit more naturally to everyone. Defense, on the other hand, not so much. That tends to take a little bit longer. So, of course, there's a lot to be excited about in his next fight coming up on October 15th. I will say there are some things I do want to see from him. What does his defense look like? How has he evolved since the Gib fight where he really just had no answer for the volume, the forward pressure that Gib brought? I do think he'll answer those questions, and his technique offensively looks far better. So, with that in mind, I'll leave the question to you guys. What do you think of not only his technique, but his potential in this influencer crossover boxing scene? He's having his first fight in 3 years in the main event this October 15th. Maybe your boy catches an interview to ask him some of these questions myself, but for now, I'll leave it to you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe here at the W.A.D.E Concept because Jay Swingler is back in the YouTube boxing scene. But where does he fit in? Top level? Journeyman? I don't have those answers. On October 15th, in the main event of DAZN and Misfits X Series number 2, guess we'll find out.